Hey, Stephen. I just thought as I mentioned in my email, that I'd record a little video for you. This is the model that I created of the site. So you can see it's got the image mapped on it, and there's the walkway, and you can see the topo. It's kind of terraced and slopes down there. I wasn't exactly sure what extent of the site that you wanted, but anyway, this is the piece that I picked out just as identified. So I used the Artisan plugin, pulled the information off of Google Earth, and then I broke it down a little finer. So if I put the hidden geometry on, you can see it's a much finer mesh than what you get from Google Earth, and that just gives you a little more flexibility. And the nice thing is that and I don't have a design in mind. I'm just going to play around a little bit, but there's several different options that you can use. If I start over here, you can simply select the tool that you want over here, the sculpt brush. And then you've got the option for the size of it. I can make it bigger or smaller, and I can go positive or negative. So I wanted to bring this up a little bit and terrace it off. I can just pull that around. You can see it's got an auto smooth feature that kind of blends it together. So if I wanted to create that manually, kind of create a terrace there or a mound there that I want to move into. Sorry about that. If I want to create a depression, I just click this down the other way. Now I'm clicking and I'm depressing those. And once I start getting the basic shapes, I can right click and choose smooth. And I want that in a positive direction. Now I can come in here, and it's kind of subtle. You may not be able to see it, but it's actually smoothing that off. You can see that's just moving that up a little bit, make that a little bigger. It's kind of making nice smooth lines across there. And then you can go back to sculpting if you want. Now the other thing is kind of got some cool features. If you have a big area that you wanted to create a level terrace out of, for example, I can come in and get the selection tool, and I can again make this really big. Just come in here, select this whole area, come up here and say make planar, and I'm going to make it XY, and it'll just make it terrace that out with a little cut and fill, kind of split the difference in there. Again, then I can go back to my sculpt tool, and maybe even in this case, make this a little smaller. So I can come around here and kind of blend that in a little bit more. Smooth tool. And if you wanted to create certain slopes as well, I could go back to my select tool and come in here, get rid of the other ones, and then come in here along the edge and just select all those that are kind of in that line. And then again, I can choose make planar and just choose best, and it's just going to kind of take the average of that, and smooth it out so it's nice and even on there. And if I switch to my view, you can see how that works there. So anyway, it's kind of a really nifty tool, and you can get as detailed as your grid in there. So if I just want to create a smaller mound, you're going to walk through. So again, it really kind of has the feel of clay that you can manipulate, create whatever landform you want. And drop that back down. Bring that path right through there. Smooth all that off, blend that in as much as you want to. So anyway, that just gives you a little idea of how you can use that to manipulate landform. And the nice thing is, of course, once you do that in SketchUp, you can just say, okay, I want to stand here and look across that, and it'll just bring it up to eye level view. I can turn the hidden geometry back off. I like to have that on so I can see when I'm doing a little bit more. Get out of the group, switch to this, and you can even see the work with the existing walkways and things, or you could add your own diagram over top of that. And then you can also select different colors are different sections of the grid and paint them if you want to rough in sidewalks and things like that. If I have a person in here somewhere. I don't think I do anymore. But anyway, just wanted to give you a little preview of how that works. So whether we can use it or not, I do think it's kind of a really slick way to go in and start manipulating landform and really get an eye-level view of what you're creating. And you can measure out these spaces and know exactly how big things are. Now, even right here, when I choose my tool, it tells me it's a 4-foot radius right now. And so you can tell how big of an area you're actually manipulating. And of course, we could pop some human figures in here and that would work as well too. And basically what I did before I prepped this is I went and selected it in what's called creasing the corners, so that as you get up to the edges, you can't move the vertices along the edge. So it maintains the elevation at that point, and it allows you to move everything else in between. And there's some other features you can use too. You can subdivide small areas. If you really want detail, you just select them and subdivide them. It keeps breaking down the grid smaller and smaller. You can see that out here, this is the original grid that I got from Google Earth, and this is, I subdivided it a couple times to have the extra detail that I wanted in there. Anyway, so I thought I had this lined up, but it doesn't look like it is quite lined up over here. But that's something, you know, we could think about using. It really wouldn't take long to show them how to do it, because it's really the navigation and how to use these tools up here. And we could give them the site with the mesh already done and everything ready to go. And then they could end up generating perspective views from it. And whether we actually put trees in or not, we could just put poles in or something like that without having to get into placing components and all those kinds of things in the SketchUp model. But I still think it might be helpful, since, as I said, if you go down on the site, you can't really see all the way across it because the trees are all blocking it and breaking it down into sections. But with this model, you could kind of get an idea of what the scale of the space is with different people figures in here, and you know, we could give them a limited set of components and show them how to place those and put trees on there as well. And then they've got a way to generate a wireframe for their view that they can then render by hand with pen and pencil or on the tablets. So anyway, hope that was interesting. Just wanted to show it to you.